everyone's allowed to have their own thoughts and ideas and struggles. And sometimes you want to bounce ideas off your partner. Sometimes you just want to iron them out in your own head. I know when I'm having a horrible day, sometimes being able to balance them out in my head and then talk to you is a whole lot better, because I've been able to iron the woman emotion out of it a lot of times. But more specifically, what I focus on with the you don't have to open up everything was you and I were still attempting to hold our damage away from each other. We didn't want to open up to each other and open that Pandora's box, because one, we had to admit we were broken. Two, we had to potentially open our damage to the other person and potentially be judged by them. Then that creates a area where the other person could potentially hurt us even worse.
And that's something we've slightly addressed before, which is when you start really opening up the communication channels between each other, it's going to get worse before it gets better. It may start opening up wounds that the other person doesn't want or didn't think they were ready or thought they were ready to, but they really weren't ready to open up and discuss. And if you want to save your marriage, you want to save your relationship, you have to start embracing the suck. It's not going to be fun. There's going to be some arguments. You have to set some boundaries and you have to set some guidelines, which is we may get angry at the situation, but we're not necessarily, they're not necessarily angry with each other, because we did this in the beginning. It's like, well, you used to do this and you did this and you did this and I did this and no, it was you. And, assessing that blame, assigning that blame to the partner is very common. We were at least intelligent enough and mature enough to realize what we were doing. So at the end of that conversation, we can be like, I apologize for, getting upset and frustrated, and you would say the same thing or something. And we could come together and be like, okay, well, I guess we actually got some shit, ironed out and we feel a little bit better, and then move on to the next one. And over time, those arguments are less and less and less. And then you really start just diving into and almost becoming each other's counselor and therapist